Oh, we almost lost it over the back there. Okay. What's up, everybody? Sean here, 40-year-old physiotherapist, trying to get athletic. Here to talk to you today about goals channels are stupid. Today in training, we're going to get into some jumps, some squats, and presses and pull-ups. If you want to follow along with my training, if you want to be more resilient, more athletic, stronger, then you can follow my training, my exact split, all on the Train Heroic app. Join the team. Link is down in the description. So I'm an elder millennial. I felt really awesome saying that out loud. And as such, I peruse the YouTubes. I'm sure you do the same thing. Otherwise, you may not have found my channel. And what you'll notice is there's these channels on, I did 30 days of this to get my max bench up. I did 30 days of training like Noah Lyles to get my sprinting up. I did 30-day this diet to lose a bunch of weight. Now that I'm about 8 months into actually training seriously and realizing that it's more like this and there's none of this, getting straight to a goal, these things are freaking stupid. Such a waste of time. Just thinking about even habit change itself. You're thinking 30-day time span. I think most research says, what was the exact figure? I don't remember, like 52 days to 90 days to actually create a new habit. So posting these videos is a little disingenuous because you're not even going to make that behavior change in that frame of time. Here's a little tip too. Between stretches, I like to do the specific movement. So here I'm just kind of working into a deep squat, basically seeing if the stretch affected this position at all. And I don't know, it's my first squat of the day, so we'll see how this progresses. The other thing to consider is that physiologically, these changes for most of these goals maybe save weight loss, but that's another topic. But like, I got stronger, or I did this arm routine for 30 days. With hypertrophy especially, this stuff takes 4 weeks just for your body to stop freaking out, just to get used to the stress. And then those sorts of hypertrophic changes happen over the course of 8 weeks. And then a longer timeline for tendons is it takes about 12 weeks for those to remodel. Any sort of training stress related to these kind of goals channels, I did 30 days of this sprint protocol and I got this much faster. I improved my vert by 30 inches, like 12 inches doing this routine. That was all already in there. And then the changes that they're showing in their videos are all neurological because that's the quickest adaptation. So if you ever feel like you start a new program and you're making really rapid gains in the early phase, that's just your brain being like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. Let me become more efficient and coordinated at these movements so that we don't fall apart. All right, form check. I swear I'm not going to become one of these guys that gets obsessed with their squat form. And I've preached at length on the channel that it doesn't really matter your technique, but I just want to be super upright and look like the Olympic weightlifters that I admire. So how's depth on that? Because I am not bottoming it out. And maybe that's a good thing. So we'll check that. All right, she ain't asked to grasp, but she ain't bad. Also, I need to keep my head up, keep my chest up. So this is kind of like my last form check, and then that's what I'm going to be working on throughout this session, is improving technique in that position, especially since today is a secondary squat day and we're just doing pause. Again, follow the training app on Train Heroic, join the team. This is the kind of stuff we're working on. The other thing I don't like about the gold channel stuff is if you're doing a 30-day challenge or even a 100-day challenge, yeah, you can make progress, but you're probably pushing yourself maybe too hard and not letting the changes you're looking for in your training sort of emerge. So you're pushing, and then in the background, some sort of overuse injury or basically overloaded stress is happening in the background. You don't realize it because you're kind of in this mode. So I'm not against going hard, but I'm just saying if you're not being reasonable and measured in your training because you have this like super tight time frame, that's when you kind of get yourself in trouble. So that's really my only gripe. If you're going to have a goal channel, like make it for the last 6 months, I've been doing this squat program. I did this for 1 whole year, but I think it's just the nature of making YouTube videos, cranking them out and lining up sponsors and all this BS that I see these people do. It's like you really only have time to do a 30-day challenge before you're already planning the next video. I'm going to do alternate day fasting. I'm going to eat vegan for 1 week. Or it's like, it's so ridiculous. And maybe I already said this, but it speaks to internet culture and instant gratification. And really, we just need to be thinking about our training of like, where do I want to be 1 year from now, 5 years from now? Yeah, because last point on that, all the people you admire, you're seeing the results, but what you don't see in the background is the multi-year training blocks that they've done. And well, here, I'll put it this way. You ask anybody who is exceptional in anything, they're usually talking in the decades mark that they've been working at it. That was true of me in music. It's true of any elite power lifter, Olympian, athlete that you talk to. It's like, well, yeah, kind of hit my stride around 10 years. Maybe they had some natural gifts, but really it's putting in that work. So one of the biggest couple themes in this channel is load management, meeting yourself with where you're at with auto regulation using things like RPE, and extending your time frames, extending your time horizons for you to achieve your fitness goals. That's the kind of stuff that we're doing over on Training Heroic. Join the team. I'm going to keep working on this workout. And if you want the specific sets and reps and RPE scales that we're using, go ahead and click the link in the description.